Billows of smoke linger along Dothan's Ross Clark Circle tonight. The aroma unmistakable. The story amazing. News 4's Ken Curtis on turning scars into stars.
Slow smoking with the wood we use.
14 years ago, Bill Goree's brother gave him an idea.
He said, "Y'all cook so well, why don't you try some butts?"
Inspired, Bill began the Sara Elizabeth Goree Memorial Gift to Children. First year, Bill and his wife Lisa and a few friends sold about 300 butts.
Now we're doing 1,100.
1,100 in only a few hours.
Oh yeah.
Butt business is booming.
We could set up here on Monday and stay for a month.
But behind this remarkable story is tragedy.
May 11th of '01.
Bill Goree won't forget.
Sarah was a junior at Dothan High.
What happened that Friday night.
And she left the house one evening to go to a dance.
It would be the last time he saw Sarah.
Somebody pulled out in front of him.
On the way to that dance, a car wreck killed her. If nothing else, Bill and Lisa Goree knew that they that they had to honor Sarah's life. That's where these butts come in.
I think Sarah would be very, very proud.
Proceeds from this annual sale
I want two. Okay, it's 70.
help other children.
Oh, it means so much to us.
The Child Advocacy Center's Laura Beth Thomas says Goree goodness is unmeasurable.
I have a good bond with the Goree family.
Christopher Jones and his wife wouldn't miss the butt sale.
Thank you, Chris.
Their friendship runs deep
We lost our son Savoy.
because, like the Gorees, they lost their child, who, like Sarah, died far too soon. Each year, the Jones and dozens of others gather to smoke butts and share memories. This will be their last.
It's going to be some tears and a lot of joy.
After 14 years, Bill and Lisa Goree are calling it quits. Smokers are wearing out, they're getting older, and all good things must come to an end. But even after the last butt goes,
Thank you so much.
friendships will continue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Sara Goree will still live
We'll all be happy in the long run.
in our hearts. Dothan, Ken Curtis, your hometown news leader.
Bill tells us they sold all 1,000 Boston butts since this morning. He thanks all who supported the sale.